Hi everyone, and welcome to another video. Today I'm here to talk about why I chose to go into consulting. Getting to where I am today took a lot of thought, conversations, and reflection. So take this video as more of an understanding as to how I got to where I am and the backstory into what made me a consultant today. Choosing a career or what you plan on doing for the foreseeable future takes a lot of thought. When we're teenagers, we're asked what we want to do for the rest of our lives sometimes, and that's tough. Whether we choose to go into a profession for the financial freedom it'll provide, or if we choose a profession based on the status or title it'll give, or even sometimes we go into a profession because that's what our parents want. Choosing a profession should be what you want, and it does require a lot of thought. And it's completely fine if you don't know and you're in high school or even college, still trying to figure that out. So again, this video is just basically an explanation of how I got to where I am, and hopefully that gives you guys more of an understanding. When I was in high school, I knew I wanted to become a physician. With having asthma attacks as a 5-year-old and ending up in the emergency room on a weekly basis, to growing up and seeing family members having strokes and heart attacks despite being relatively healthy, and even my grandma passing away because of pancreatic cancer during my sophomore year of high school. These life events are what ultimately wanted me to pursue medicine and even eventually find a cure for cancer. So while I was in high school, I took it upon myself to begin interning at hospitals and emergency rooms, shadowing physicians, and joining different medical organizations on campus to learn more about what my future profession might entail. Regardless, I knew that medicine is going to require another 15 years of schooling, so I wanted to always have a backup plan in mind because I knew other students who were just as qualified or just as ambitious as me, but weren't making the cut for med school. So when going through the process in high school of determining what major I wanted to study, where I wanted to study, it was very challenging. I knew, however, that there were more qualified students who weren't getting into med school, which made me think of this question: what can I do with my major as an alternative profession? I remember having this conversation one night with my math tutor back in high school, and he told me that as someone who does like math and science, as well as does want to have some sort of medical impact, why not pursue a career in biomedical engineering? I knew that being a biomedical engineer gives me the best of both worlds, and it hit me for a second. Best case, studying biomedical engineering will present the rigor and the challenges that will stimulate me while I'm in medical school. And worst case, I'm a biomedical engineer. So it kind of does end well, and I was very happy with that option. When the time did come to apply, I applied as a biomedical engineer. Now, fast forward a couple years, I graduated with a biomedical engineering degree at USC, and here I am today. If by some coincidence my math tutor from in high school is stumbling upon this video, I do want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for that advice and mentorship that you provided. I do value every input that you shared with me, and I hope to pay it forward, hopefully through videos like this for others. Toward the end of my sophomore year was when I realized med school wasn't really in the cards for me. I did still have a 4.0 during my freshman and sophomore year and have very notable extracurriculars, but being in school for another decade or so just wasn't really interesting to me. So that's when I decided to pivot into exploring what avenues are available as a biomedical engineer. I began getting more involved with engineering organizations on campus and eventually got involved with conducting research. And I think within a couple weeks to a semester max, that was when I realized I don't see myself working in a lab day in and day out for the rest of my life. And although there are other careers that a biomedical engineer can do, I just didn't see myself working in a lab environment or isolated because I am a little bit more extroverted and I did want to work on different teams with different people. So that's when I started having a different idea of what I do want to do. What I enjoyed about engineering was the challenge, rigor, and problem-solving skills it taught me. But there was a time during my third year in college where I had a little bit of a crisis. I wasn't pre-med anymore, I wasn't really into engineering, and I didn't know what to do, and I didn't know where my degree was going to take me. So after a little self-reflection and chatting with a few friends in the business school, that's when I came across consulting. I had no idea what consulting meant or what it entailed, and to be quite honest, that was the first time in my life I'd ever even heard the term consulting. I didn't know what the big four or top three were, what is the difference between management consulting or technology consulting, but I knew that the work that was being done as a consultant did resonate with me. By the way, if you are interested in learning more about management consulting or technology consulting, definitely leave a comment below and I'll make another video on that. For the next few weeks, I spent the days going to class and in the evening hours learning more about consulting, breaking down the different types of firms, what is a case interview, how to market size, learning more about networking, going to different events, you name it. And I knew that for a second semester junior wanting to go into consulting, I had a lot of catching up to do. But I knew that it tied my interests together, which is why I was very adamant and ambitious about learning more about what this field had to offer. Also, if you do want to learn more about case interviews or breaking down the different types of firms or whatever, definitely leave a comment below and I can make another video on that. As a pre-med student working in various hospitals, I really enjoyed the fast-paced environment. As an engineer, I enjoyed the analytical acumen and problem-solving skills that came along with my coursework. And personally, I enjoy working with other people, so being a consultant coalesced all my interests because it does provide the fast-paced environment, the problem-solving and challenges, as well as working with other people. So altogether, I realized this was a profession that really does interest me. There were those endless nights where I was uncertain whether I would go into consulting because of its competitiveness or if this was the right career for me. But regardless, I gave 100% and I was confident in my abilities to perform well during the interviews, which eventually landed me multiple full-time offers, which I'm very grateful for. If you'd like to learn more about how I conquered these interviews, definitely subscribe and comment below which firms you'd like to learn more about. There was a lot of conflict personally and family-wise when I decided to go into consulting. For my parents, they saw each step in my professional career as a kind of downgrade in a sense. You know, from being pre-med and wanting to become a physician, then wanting to be an engineer, then just something business related. They really didn't understand what I was doing or why I was doing it. And to be quite honest, still today, when I do explain what a consultant is or what I do, they don't really understand. So it was a barrier for me to overcome, but nonetheless, they do see my passion and they are beginning to support me more and more. Whether you're still deciding what you want to study in school or what profession you want to pursue, or even what's to come in the next 10 years, it's very critical to take some time to reflect, ask those questions with other people, and network to learn more. With that being said, consulting did provide the opportunities that I did want within a career, and I'm forever grateful for making this leap. If you want to schedule an appointment to learn more about consulting or how to network, definitely visit my website, ryanrafi.com, to learn more. Also, comment below what interests you in consulting and why you chose the career avenue that you're wanting to pursue. Also, be sure to like and subscribe to help out the channel. And with all that being said, thanks again and till next time.